Welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. This is Elia, our character. She's a mage, and we are in the ruins of Ostagar after having cleared out the Kokori wilds. We just finished preparing for the joining ritual. We need to go and talk with Duncan over there, with the arrow above his head, in order to start the ritual. But I thought before we actually do that, we're just going to see if Wynne has anything to say, because she is one of the characters in this game that is a potential party member. Not at this point exactly, but later on, it is possible that she can join us. And
Back
she
again?
has nothing to
Don't
say.
the Grey Wardens need you? Off you
So
go.
let's go start the joining ritual, and then we can move along. This episode will be a lot of cinematic stuff, just because of the ritual and events that occur immediately after.
So you returned from the wilds. Have you been successful?
We have.
Good. I've had the Circle mages preparing. With the blood you've retrieved, we can begin the joining immediately.
That's good. Maybe we should tell you about Morgan and her mother?
There was a woman at the tower, and her mother had the scrolls. They were both very... odd.
Were they wilder folk?
I don't think so. They might be apostates. Mages hiding from the Chantry.
I know you were once a Templar, Alistair, but Chantry business is not ours. We have the scrolls. Let us focus on the joining.
Alistair's bias is showing, and that's not a good thing considering that he's already in a group with a mage, so he should watch what he says, but oh well. Now will you tell us what the ritual is about?
I will not lie. We Grey Wardens pay a heavy price to become what we are. Fate may decree that you pay your price now, rather than later.
Fair enough. Are you saying the ritual can kill us?
As could any darkspawn you might face in battle. You would not have been chosen, however, if I did not think you had a chance to survive.
Let's go then. I'm anxious to see this joining now.
I agree. Let's have it done.
Then let us begin. Alistair, take them to the old temple.
So the old temple is where we met Alistair in the first place?
The more I hear about this joining, the less I like it.
Are you blubbering again?
Why all these damn tests? Have I not earned my place?
Maybe it's tradition. Maybe they're just trying to annoy you.
Calm down, there's nothing we can do about it now.
I only know that my wife is in Highover with a child on the way. If they had warned me, it just doesn't seem fair.
Would you have come if they'd warned you? Maybe that's why they don't. The Wardens do what they must, right?
Including sacrificing us?
I'd sacrifice a lot more if I knew it would end the Blight.
Will you both just shut up?
Yes, Sir Knight. Try not to wet your trousers
Talking
until the
to
ritual
both of you.
starts.
I've just never faced a foe I could not engage with my blade.
At last, we come to the joining. The Grey Wardens were founded during the First Blight, when humanity stood on the verge of annihilation. So it was that the first Grey Wardens drank of darkspawn blood and mastered their taint.
We're going to drink the blood of those creatures.
As the first Grey Wardens did before us, as we did before you. This is the source of our power and our victory.
Those who survive the joining become immune to the taint. We can sense it in the darkspawn and use it to slay the archdemon.
While you're paying attention to conversations, just a reminder, keep an eye out for the facial expressions of not only your character or our character, but the other characters interacting, or even if they're not speaking, pay attention to their facial features and their movements and such. It actually reveals a lot about their character personalities, because even when they are not participating verbally in a conversation, they will be participating just through their reactions, like their body language. It's quite fascinating, and I think the animators did a pretty solid job of demonstrating that in this game. So let's get on with it.
We speak only a few words prior to the joining, but these words have been said since the first. Alistair, if you would.
Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And should you perish, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten, and that one day we shall join you.
Daveth, step forward.
Maker's breath.
Jory's
I am
freaking
sorry,
out.
Daveth. Step forward, Jory.
But I have a wife, a child.
There is
Had I
no
known...
turning back.
No, you ask too much. There is no glory in this.
Oh, it's on.
I am sorry. But the joining is not yet complete. You are called upon to submit yourself to the taint for the greater good. From this moment forth, you are a Grey Warden.
So it's heavily implied there that Duncan can tell whether or not someone has passed the joining before they actually die.
It is finished. Welcome.
2 more deaths. In my joining, only one of us died, but it was horrible. I'm glad at least one of you made it through.
How do you feel?
So it's entirely possible that Jory actually could have survived the joining ritual. However, because he refused to drink, I guess the Grey Warden's code of conduct prevented Duncan from allowing Jory to leave knowing about the joining. There's a lot of secrecy about it, and you can kind of understand why from certain perspectives. It's also difficult to understand without actually being a Grey Warden ourselves. Like from the outside, it does look quite cruel and unnecessary, or possibly unnecessary. Ideally, like, people would be more accepting of like the circumstances surrounding a joining, so it shouldn't need to be a secret. But reality and what we want aren't always the same. So I think that plays a role in like why it's kept secret. So one thing that we did find out through all of this is that there's an element of magic that goes into the joining ritual, and also there's the darkspawn blood. We don't know yet much more about it, but we do find out more about it later in this game, and I can't talk about it right now because it's something that happens later in the game and is a potential spoiler, so we're not going to talk about it. Nothing you said prepared me for that.
Such is what it takes to be a Grey Warden.
Did you have dreams? I had terrible dreams after my joining.
Such dreams come when you begin to sense the darkspawn, as we all do. That and many other things can be explained in the months to come.
Before I forget, there is one last part to your joining. We take some of that blood and put it in a pendant. Something to remind us of those who didn't make it this far.
Take some time. When you're ready, I'd like you to accompany me to a meeting with the king.
What kind of meeting?
The king is discussing strategy for the upcoming battle. I am not sure why he has requested your presence. The meeting is to the west, down the stairs. Please attend as soon as you're able.
So I like that Duncan actually addresses the fact that he doesn't know why the king invited us to this important meeting that's supposed to be like leaders planning out things before the battle to come. Because it is kind of odd that a new recruit to the Grey Wardens should be invited, especially since there's supposedly other Grey Wardens here who have been Grey Wardens for quite a long time. And you'll notice that Alistair is not going to the meeting, and Alistair has already been a Grey Warden for a few months at least. So, yeah, that's interesting. Now, during this time before the meeting, you do have the opportunity to explore the camp, but because we actually already did that before talking to Duncan for starting the joining ritual, we don't need to do any of that. Otherwise, we'd have opportunity to go turn in a few quests and sell stuff, but we've already done that, so we're not going to bother. We're just going to go straight to the meeting.
Loghain, my decision is final. I will stand by the Grey Wardens in this assault.
You risk too much, Kalen. The darkspawn horde is too dangerous for you to be playing hero on the front lines.
If that's the case, perhaps we should wait for the Orlesian forces to join us after all.
I must repeat my protest to your fool notion that we need the Orlesians to defend ourselves.
It is not a fool notion. Our arguments with the Orlesians are a thing of the past, and you will remember who is king.
How fortunate Marek did not live to see his son ready to hand Ferelden over to those who enslaved us for a century.
Then our current forces will have to suffice, won't they? Duncan, are your men ready for battle?
They are, Your Majesty.
And this is the recruit I met earlier on the road? I understand congratulations are in order.
I don't feel that special.
Oh, but you are. Every Grey Warden is needed now more than ever.
Your fascination with glory and legends will be your undoing, Kalen. We must attend to reality.
Fine. Speak your strategy. The Grey Wardens and I draw the Darkspawn into charging our lines, and then?
You will alert the tower to light the beacon, signaling my men to charge from cover.
To flank the Darkspawn, I remember. This is the Tower of Ishal in the ruins, yes? Well, who shall light this beacon?
I have a few men stationed there. It's not a dangerous task, but it is vital.
Then we should send our best. Send Alistair and the new Grey Warden to make sure it's done.
If it's not dangerous, I can do it myself.
No. It's best that you both go.
You rely on these Grey Wardens too much. Is that truly wise?
Enough of your conspiracy theories, Loghain. Grey Wardens battle the Blight no matter where they're from.
Your Majesty, you should consider the possibility of the archdemon appearing.
There have been no signs of any dragons in the wilds.
Isn't that what your men are here for, Duncan?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, the tower and its beacon are unnecessary. The
We
circle
will
of
not
Magi...
trust any lives to your spells, mage. Save them for the Darkspawn.
Enough! This plan will suffice. The Grey Wardens will light the beacon.
Thank you, Loghain. I cannot wait for that glorious moment. The Grey Wardens battle beside the King of Ferelden to stem the tide of evil.
Yes, Kalen. A glorious moment for us all.
Very ominous.
You heard the plan. You and Alistair will go to the Tower of Ishal and ensure the beacon is lit.
What? I won't be in the battle.
This is by the King's personal request, Alistair. If the beacon is not lit, Tern Loghain's men won't know when to charge.
So he needs 2 Grey Wardens standing up there holding the torch, just in case, right?
So we already know where the Tower of Vishal is. It's that tower that had Logain's guards posted outside of it earlier. It was before we went into the Kukari Wilds when we first arrived at Ostagar. So you'll be able to see it in the distance. I'll point it out. Stop your whining. We have an important job.
We must do whatever it takes to destroy the darkspawn, exciting or no.
I get it, I get it. Just so you know, if the king ever asks me to put on a dress and dance the Remigold, I'm drawing the line. Darkspawn or no.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. So, Alistair running around
For
in a
you,
dress.
maybe. But it has to be a pretty dress.
The tower is on the other side of the gorge from the king's camp, the way we came when we arrived. You'll need to cross the gorge and head through the gate and up to the tower entrance. From the top, you'll overlook the entire valley.
When do we light the beacon?
We will signal you when the time is right. Alistair will know what to look for.
What if the Archdemon appears?
We soil our drawers, that's what.
If it does, leave it to us. I want no heroics from either of you.
How much time do we have?
The battle is about to begin. Once I leave, move quickly. You'll have less than an hour.
Fair enough. Can we join the battle after?
Stay with the Terran's men and guard the tower. If you are needed, we will send word.
I know what we have to do.
Then I must join the others. From here, you two are on your own. Remember, you are both Grey Wardens. I expect you to be worthy of that title.
Duncan, may the Maker watch over you.
May he watch over us all.
Alistair disapproves again. So, yeah, we're gonna end up having quite a bit of disapproval with Alistair. Just the way I'm playing this character. The way Elia is. So, can't be helped. But we do have a bit of leveling up we can do. So we'll dabble with that a little bit before we continue. Just a reminder though, like if you have a warrior in your group and you want them to be using like a shield, dexterity is important because a lot of the skills in for using a shield require dexterity instead of strength. So not all of them, as you can see, but some of them. And you do need a substantial amount of dexterity to get them all. Now, normally I would go with Threaten here, but I do actually think that I'm gonna stick with Precise Striking for now, just so we can get Taunt earlier, because Taunt is quite a useful skill for a tank to have. And then, which direction do we want to go? I turned myself around a bit. Not that way. Right over here it should be. How come we can't see in the distance there? Oh, we should be able to once we go to the bridge. But after we cross the bridge, well, I guess before we cross the bridge there's a bit of a cinematic. And then after we finish crossing the bridge to get to the tower, I'm probably going to end the video there. Just to keep it a little short, on the shorter end. So.
The plan will work, Your Majesty.
Of course it will. The Blight ends here.
And that is a lot of darkspawn.
Archers! Hounds!
Really like how cinematic the scenes are in this.
For Ferelden!
So that tower that exploded, we'll actually be able to see it in the distance.
Let's cross the bridge and get to the Tower of Ishal.
That should be it right there. You can kind of see it, especially once the sky lights up. And then the Tower of Ishal is the big one on the left. So we have to go to the Tower of Ishal, climb to the top, and light a beacon. Take a look at the battle while we're crossing. That's a lot.
I'm in need of
Fortunately, that didn't kill us, but it happened to kill all the other people. So, interesting.
Help me. They're everywhere. They've taken the tower.
Sure, we'll talk with them, and then after we finish talking with them, we'll go up to the tower in the next episode.
You're Grey Wardens, aren't you? The tower, it's been taken.
What are you talking about, man? Taken how?
The darkspawn came up through the lower chambers. They're everywhere. Most of our men are dead.
Then we have to get to the beacon and light it ourselves.
Alright, so that was a nice short conversation. We have a couple new party members. They're just unnamed people, so that's a pretty good indication that they're not going to be sticking around. If you happen to be playing a rogue or a warrior as your main character, one of these two people will be a mage instead of a warrior. As is, both of them are warriors. And you can, of course, before venturing out with them, just make sure they have the equipment that you want on them. So you can notice that one of them has a crossbow as his primary weapon. I'm not sure how I feel about him using a crossbow during our combat, so I'm actually going to take that away from him. And he can suck it up and use some of the other stuff. His mace and shield should be fine. Alistair is the major concern. Already had him equipped last time, so and we're all set. So we'll leave it at that for now, and we'll continue from here next time. Thank you all for watching. Remember to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you then.